Mike Picciotti and Kirkland Lange. Kirkland Lange from London, England, the veteran who's been in boxing now 12 years with a record of 27-5-1 with 11 knockouts, goes up against Ridley Park, Pennsylvania's explosive Mike Picciotti with a record of 30 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, and 16 big knockouts. The roulette wheel keeps turning, the dealers keep getting blackjack, and you can still get a splitter on the boardwalk. Something just never changed. Hi again, everybody. I'm Randy Gordon from the Copa Room at the Sands Hotel Casino and Country Club. Tonight, we've got a welterweight fight that promises plenty of action. Kirkland Lange, the veteran, boxer, puncher, he goes up against the slugger, brawler from Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, Mike Picciotti. And working with me, as always, on these shows, sports writer for the Atlantic City Press, Dave Von Tempo. Dave, this is a classic matchup. In what way, and am I correct in calling this a classic matchup?
It certainly should be a nice contrast of boxing styles and slugging. Lange with 11 knockouts in 33 fights, and he hasn't had a significant win since Roberto Duran in 1982, but that was a big boxing match for him. That's the kind of style he needs to have.
Okay, Mike Picciotti is coming off a loss.
And he had 6 in a row before that. The loss to Juan Alonso Villa in February ruined his 6-fight winning streak on a 2-year comeback trail. So Picciotti can't afford to lose 2 in a row, and the explosive right hand is what he'll try to get back in the ring for him tonight.
Okay, so it's Mike Picciotti versus Kirkland Lange. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. We see virtually everything matching up just about the same. What really matters here could be that reach advantage that Mike Picciotti owns, even though he's the shorter fighter. Let's get ready for the start of tonight's bout, and right up to ring announcer Ed Darian.
From the beautiful Copa Room of the sensational Sands Hotel and Casino, here in the boxing capital of the world of Atlantic City, New Jersey, Sands Tiger Eye Limited, in association with Peltz Boxing Promotions, J. Russell Peltz, Director of Boxing, proudly present this evening's big professional boxing card. Is approved and sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Commission, the Honorable Larry Hazard, Commissioner, Nick D. Balistreri, and Lawrence Wallace, Deputy Commissioners. The chief physician in attendance at ringside this evening is Dr. Frank B. Doggett, along with his 2 fine colleagues, Dr. Stanley H. Eden and Dr. Eric Wormser. The judges, Lynn Carter, Frank Brunette, and Ron Burns. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Double S Steve Smoger. The timekeeper to bell is Arthur Spell. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round welterweight bout, referee Paul Venti. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the multicolored trim. He weighed in at an even 148 pounds. This gentleman has 27 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, with 11 knockouts. From London, England, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome aboard Kirkland Lange. Lange. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim. He weighed in at an even 149 pounds. This young man has 30 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, with 16 knockouts. From Ridley Township, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, boxing fans, here is Mike Picciotti. Picciotti.
Both you fellas were instructed for the New Jersey boxing rules. As your referee, I'm here to enforce those rules. Shake hands now. Come out, find at the bell. Good luck to both of you.
Well, we're getting set. Moments away from the opening bell. This is scheduled for 10 rounds. Let's go over the rules quickly of the New Jersey State Athletic Commission. Scoring done on a round system. The standing 8 count is in effect. The mandatory 8 count is in effect. 3 knockdowns in any one round. And the fight And there's no saving by the bell except in the last round. Mike Picciotti at 5'9.5" to 5'10" for Kirkland Lange. Actually, Picciotti, though, the shorter man, has about 1.5 inches longer reach. His jabbing arm is a little bit longer. But he's going to have trouble catching up with the man who is wearing the trunks. Looks like one of Dave Von Tempo's bathrobes.
And a classic one at that.
Had to borrow them from one of the Rocky movies. From Apollo Creed. A jittery kind of fighter is Kirkland Lange. He's got around 22 feet of ring inside there and expect him to use it. Now the fans are already in love with the tactics of Kirkland Lange.
He's turned this into the Kirkland Lange Invitational so far.
Only seconds into the first round. Well, he said he's living up to his three-fight promise, but he wasn't going to stand there with Picciotti, that he wanted to see what he was made out of in the first round. He said, if I have to take 2 or 3 rounds to find out what he's made of, I will. But then I'll go to work on it with my fast hands. Good strategy on his part. You don't come into a guy's backyard and walk out and start slugging with him.
No, especially because a lot can happen in the first round. Very easy to get cold cocked. You might not be warmed up.
Nice double jab there by Lange. You saw how much faster he was. A lot of nervous energy on Lange's part. Picciotti, more of a puncher drawer than he is a defensive wizard. He'll get hit tonight. He'll take 2 or 3 or 4 to give 1. Picciotti managed by the loquacious Marty, the Wolfman Feldman, trained by Feldman. Actually, it's Feldman and promoter Russell Peltz who has rejuvenated the boxing career of Picciotti. Came off a loss in 1982 to Johnny Cooper, a fight in which he suffered a broken eye socket. He returned to action in 1984 with 2 knockout victories, then added 4 more knockout victories in 1985 before he was stopped in February of this year. The man who stopped him, Juan Alonso Villa of Mexico, who has since become the Mexican champion.
No surprise the way he waged the battle that night. Villa looked very sharp.
Early in the fight, Villa hurt. And for some strange reason, Picciotti went back to the ropes as if to let Villa punch himself out. But Villa did not punch himself out, and in the process closed one of Picciotti's eyes, which led to the stoppage in round 9. And here in round 1, these fighters having a long look at one another. Picciotti not putting on any heavy pressure, and Lange not wanting to get close. End of round number 1. A collective boo goes up from the crowd here. Partisan crowd in favor of Picciotti.
They want to see this action waged in close.
So does that corner there, the corner of Mike Picciotti, the man in front of him, his manager trainer, Marty, the Wolfman Feldman. Veteran Sam Solomon outside the ropes, applying a little Vaseline. Got the swabs in his mouth, always ready. I hope he uses the side that's sticking out if you have to. And a little refresher. You notice Picciotti did not swallow the water. Swallowing too much water early in the fight can lead to cramps later on. The whistle for seconds to leave the ring. Referee Paul Venny walks to the center. Seconds out. Sends Kirkland Lange back to his corner. There's the bell. Round number 2. At the weigh-in today, Picciotti weighed in 149. Kirkland Lange 148.
When Lange discussed the idea of finding out what Picciotti was made of, maybe he was referring to stamina. He hasn't tested him inside, hasn't tested the punch.
Picciotti, a very hard trainer, as we've seen before, and don't expect him to run out of gas. Kirkland Lange, on the other hand, more of a question mark. He's coming off a loss last July. That was his last fight. Over in Australia, in Queensland, Australia, to Brian Jansen. In the 5th round, he was leading on points, slipped on a wet spot in the ring, and as he went down, Jansen went over to him and smacked him while he was on his knees, knocked him out. And because it was in Australia, they called this all of a sudden they made up a rule. They said, there's a no foul rule here. That's just the way it goes. And they called it a knockout. And it stands. 5th round knockout.
Well, not every boxing commission is stringent. Something we take for granted here because there are so many fights.
And before that, Kirkland Lange had won 3 fights in a row, a knockout over Darwin Brewster, 10-round decision over Mosima Melali, and Frank Morrow, who beat on an 8th-round decision. So you see there are no names there, but yet he was just keeping sharp.
He comes off a long layoff here.
There were 2 big layoffs. After that Roberto Duran fight in September of 1982, there was a 12-month layoff. He said it was his fault. He laid back and waited for the big fights to come to him. They didn't come. Then when we saw him again, it was here in Atlantic City. He fought on a Larry Holmes undercard when Holmes took on Scott Frank. And he was knocked out in the 10th round by Fred Hutchins. Said he was drained from making weight. After that fight, there was a 14-month layoff. Then he began to come back to his on down.
And now he ends a layoff of 10 months to come into this fight.
Paul Venti steps in and says, his exact words are, oh, come on.
And Lange registering the look of disgust because this was his strategy.
You know, it's kind of tough when the referee is not on your side. And I kind of feel for Kirkland Lange because that is part of the game. I mean, I think he's doing a little bit too much running.
I think if he was throwing the jab out a little bit more and trying some punching in addition to the running, he would have been given an okay by Venti.
Paul Venti, a man I call Mr. Disciplinarian. You have a feeling that if Kirkland Lange keeps fighting like this, Venti will tell him to take a shower. Well, you called it in the first round the Kirkland Lange Invitational track meet, and it indeed has become that. Because he has done nothing but run.
And we expect that to change after the warning by Paul Venti.
Perhaps it will change.
He can't afford too many warnings. He'll get rounds taken away.
Dave, who would you give that second round to? Actually, who would you give the first round to?
It's tough to give either round to anybody. I think that on aggression alone and perhaps intention, I would give Picciotti 1 round to call 1 even.
Good word, intention. At least he wants to fight. Aggression, that's another story.
Because you have to be effectively aggressive to score points. And speaking of points, New Jersey is going to go to the point system sometime this summer.
Right now, they're on the round system. Round number 3. Paul Venti actually did more work in the first 2 rounds than both these fighters. Dave Von Tempo gave the word, intention. And Picciotti is trying to make a fight of it. Takes a counter shot by the fast hands of Kirkland Lange.
I think this is what Lange was intending to do in the first couple of rounds. Punch while he's backing up and get the boxing ability and score the points and not be vulnerable for a counter.
A number of weeks ago, what did Michael Spinks do for the first 5 rounds against Larry Holmes? Virtually the same thing. Moved. Kept his hands up and moved. Then he got into the fight.
And almost ran out of time. But he succeeded.
Kirkland Lange starting to grow in confidence now, feeling he's faster than Picciotti. And that makes up for the reach advantage of about 1.5 inches that Picciotti has. You see a lot of feints being offered now by Kirkland Lange, stamping the left foot. That's a feint trying to get Picciotti to drop his hands so he can count it.
What's happening is Picciotti is taking too much time to get set.
This is a much better round for Kirkland Lange. Standing still, positioning himself, throwing some sharp left jabs, many of which are getting in.
And you see Picciotti boring forward, takes a couple punches, and then he's got to get set all over again. The process starts again. This is costing him momentum.
Kirkland Lange began his professional career in 1975. I
think what is going to go a long way in determining this fight is how Lange reacts to Picciotti's first big right hand. Sooner or later, one has to get in.
Kirkland Lange hasn't launched his right hand either. It's all stiff left jab. The guys are wearing the 8-ounce Reyes gloves. The Reyes gloves are the ones known as the puncher's glove. They have a heavy seam on the outside. Alexis Aguayo made a career out of carving up his opponents with those gloves. About 30 seconds remain in round number 3. The first round where there's been any action in the fight, and it's been Kirkland Lange's best round so far.
And there it changes as Picciotti lands a big left hook and starts to sense it was his best chance.
But time has run out. So, Picciotti glances over his shoulder back towards the corner of Kirkland Lange. It took him about 2 minutes and 53 seconds before he landed that left hook. And it was a big punch, but I don't know if it was enough to win the round.
Picciotti coming on as Lange is jabbing. Good round for Lange up until this point. And then Picciotti scores with the left hand, and Lange stumbles a bit. He's hurt a bit, too. Picciotti takes his best shots right here. And you've got to say this. He did run out of time, but Picciotti was ready to pounce upon the opportunity.
Still, I thought it was enough for Kirkland Lange. He went about 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the round. I'd say you have to give him a round on that alone, on a sharp left jab. Getting ready for the start of round number 4. Kirkland Lange, a little over-anxious, comes out to the middle of the ring before the bell. It's sent back to the corner by ref Paul Benny. And again, the pattern of the fight. Lange retreats. Picciotti comes in. Lange, the man with the colorful shorts on.
I think we'll see Picciotti try to open it up in this round. Picciotti's left hand is down. There's the mark of somebody thinking about the left hook right now and not much else, because it landed for him.
Picciotti was thinking right hand over that low-held left hand. Picciotti trying to pick up the pressure, redness around his face, courtesy of a dozen or so jabs he's taken flush on the face. Kirkland Lange's favorite hobby outside of boxing. He likes to play a game called snooker.
Snooker. Is that like pool?
You got it. An authority on sports all the way. It's kind of like a billiards game. And Picciotti standing in front of Kirkland Lange, who keeps snapping out the jab, some getting through. At this point, he's just pulling back. Nothing really on those punches. That's what Pick wants to do on the inside. But he's smartly tied up by Lange, who, once again, tries to jump in with those fast hands. Faster hands evident there of Kirkland Lange, scoring, keeping Picciotti off balance. 28-year-old Mike Picciotti. His birthday is tomorrow, by the way. And Kirkland Lange's 31 years old, managed by Mickey Duff, whom he says he doesn't get to see much of.
And Mickey's got a large stable.
John the Matador Munduga, John the Beast Mugabe's ahead of it all.
Duff has had 14 world champions.
That's all.
That's all. Can you believe it?
Some managers look for one chance. Duff has had 14. This
The advantage of being a big fish in a small pond. You become the predominant manager promoter in England. You can get a lot.
Kirkland Lange tasted a quick headbutt there. Kirkland Lange still hasn't thrown a right hand of any importance. End of round number 4. Into the corner we go. Kirkland Lange.
And the highlights from round 4. Picciotti coming in, throwing the left hook. That did not land, but Lange stumbled again for the second time in 2 rounds. Now Picciotti coming forward. Notice the left hand of Lange at that spot. Very low, and that is what Picciotti will be trying to take advantage of.
We await the start of round number 5 from the Sands Hotel, Casino, and Country Club. I'm Randy Gordon along with Dave Von Temple, bringing you this scheduled 10-round welterweight bout between Mike Picciotti in the red trunks with white stripes and the candy striper, Kirkland Lange.
Picciotti trying to muscle Lange right now. He's got to cut off the ring better than he has up until this point.
Kirkland Lange, evident that he does not want to get involved in any kind of brawl tonight, keeping his distance.
And Picciotti will have to make him stand and fight. But you would think that Picciotti would win that exchange.
When I say keeping his distance, I mean with a capital D. You could put one of the Sands roulette tables between these guys.
He sends his left with a messenger.
Picciotti starting to block those singular left jabs now. Kirkland Lange has to go back to putting them together. 3, 4, 5 at a clip. And you see the strength evident of Picciotti on the inside. Kirkland Lange keeps waving the right hand. Doesn't do anything with it, though.
He has nonetheless been frustrating for Picciotti because Lange stays on the outside and makes Picciotti chase. Then when he gets inside, he ties Picciotti up and makes it hard for Picciotti to get his offense together.
So with his left hand, he's poking away at Picciotti. With the right hand, he's waving at Dave Von Temple. I hope he doesn't get too close. The way he's punching him there, doesn't look like he could hurt you. Picciotti, though, showing, I think, a little bit too much respect for Kirkland Lange. That is not pressure Piccioti's putting on.
He's waiting for the ideal situation for the left hand to go out and then the right hand to follow. And it may not come that way. He may have to muscle Lange and then the opening will come for him.
Exactly. If he just stands there, it won't come. He'll walk around like that all night long. He's got to really put some heavy pressure in. I said he's got to throw those punches with bad intentions. Meanwhile, Kirkland Lange still composed, cool. Legs still very much have bounce in them. Picciotti looks at Lange and says, come on.
This is turning into a street fight as far as Picciotti is concerned.
There's the wife of Mike Picciotti. A moment, clasped her hands in front of her face. And Mrs. Picciotti. She should be working the corner. Dave, you think she's a little bit nervous?
Nervous and intense. Got to give her credit coming to the fight.
Some action from that last round we just saw. Kirkland Lange once again on his bike. Here's Marty the Wolfman Feldman. Maybe a mild little talk there to Picciotti. Wants him to put more pressure on. And that is some good advice.
I think he's got to put some more smart pressure on. move to the side where he figures Lang will be, cut off the ring, and make it a brawl inside.
The redness on the face of Mike Picciotti. No lumps or cuts or bumps and bruises, though. Face of Kirkland Lange unmarked. Hasn't really been tagged with anything, but yet on my scorecard, he's down 4 rounds to 1. Dave, your scorecard?
3 rounds to 2 he's down.
He looks to be dazed. Every time he gets hit with a solid punch, he seems to get hurt by it. Once again, he twirls that right hand, but still hasn't pulled the trigger on it. Nice double jab there by Mike Picciotti, which backs Lang up even further. They swapped jab, and it was Lang who got home first.
Picciotti has to go to the body. He has not done that tonight.
There's a short little nothing right hand by Lang. Just no steam on it at all. I wonder if he hurt that right hand in the first round.
You feel that if he's in position to finally throw the right hand, he really should put some steam behind it.
There he launched a right uppercut with some bad intentions on it. It didn't land. But he's not following up. He throws left hooks, left uppercuts. Doesn't come back with the right hand.
He's survivor conscious, but he's trying to fight a strategic survival fight.
Well, last time out, Mike Picciotti was in against a brawler slugger by the name of Juan Alonso Villa. And tonight he's in there with a track star. This might put Carl Lewis to shame. And there's a right hand with bad intentions that landed. Nothing much on it though, but a scoring punch nonetheless. These rounds have been close, they've been tough to score. As this has been the fight so far. Lang on his bike, moving. Picciotti trying to come in. Picciotti talking again.
You can't win many fights on your bicycle, but this is one of those instances where Lang just might be able to do it.
You gotta remember, the judges are only human, and if they're getting frustrated, as Mike Picciotti might be, and I know I sometimes get watching a guy who's in there to survive, they might be scoring rounds for Picciotti, rather for Kirkland Lange.
Now, Picciotti's offense has all been in spurts. Lang has been a little more consistent.
Round number 6 comes to a close. I mark my scorecard for Kirkland Lange. Dave Von Temple, what about you?
Very good round for Kirkland Lange. Fought the kind of pace he wanted. Anytime you come back and the crowd is booing, that might be good for Lang.
Some action from round number 6.
One of the rare times Picciotti was able to get Lang in close. And you can see how he wants to maul Lang. But he didn't do that enough. One of the isolated situations where he was able to get inside.
Well, let's see if Mike Picciotti can get close in round number 7. A fast-paced fight so far. Very few clinches. Kirkland Lange has actually been unwilling to get close. Slipped and went down. This time he wasn't taking any chances of getting nailed. He remembers what happened in Australia. And as soon as he went down, he just covered up. Became the hostage and just put his head in the hole.
That's about the 3rd time he has stumbled tonight.
Well, that's in his corner, which is pretty well soaked down. And then moves back into Picciotti's corner, rather Kirkland Lange's corner. Again, you see Picciotti in the white trunks really not putting on any heavy pressure.
But when Lange gets his left hand down like that, Picciotti is waiting. He's trying to calculate the punch too much.
Kirkland Lange pops, gets out, pops, gets out. Punches aren't really scoring, but then Picciotti is not doing all that much from the outside.
You get the feeling Picciotti will have to be inside and then step back to get the right hand in, rather than fire it from the outside.
Kirkland Lange began to commit himself on a right uppercut, held back, and then snapped up a fine left jab. A couple more shots get in by Kirkland Lange, and you can just about see the frustration there on the face of Mike Picciotti.
Well, Lange is a nuisance of an opponent because he's there and then he's not there.
Solid left hand by Picciotti, but then he took a few shots. Picciotti gives a yell over to Kirkland Lange as if to make him come in and slug. It would be interesting to see how the judges have this one scored. Strong left hand again by Kirkland. Even if it doesn't land, he's doing something, and that's more than Picciotti is doing. Pick really wants to make a slugging match out of it, and he's not being obliged.
He's going for the home run, but he needs to single first. The jab to set it up. Lange is gaining confidence and coming forward more and fighting more inside.
Well, the end of another round where I thought it was a fine round for Kirkland Lange. Did what he had to win on my scorecard anyway. And this is a real close fight. Into the corner we go of Mike Picciotti. That 30 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws record on the line tonight, because if he loses, that's 2 consecutive knockouts, 2 consecutive losses rather. He was stopped in his last fight in February. February 7th, he was stopped in the 9th round by Juan Alonso Villa, and now being given a tongue lashing by Marty the Wolfman Feldman.
Sure, he's telling Picciotti he's got to cut down the angles better.
I'm talking about those angles, Dave.
Lange on the outside, loving it. He did take one from Picciotti there, but he comes forward and lands a good right hand. And just as soon as he's in, he's out.
Join Dave Bontempo and myself at ringside as we pick it up in round number 8. Kirkland Lange in the red, white, and blue trunks. Mike Picciotti in the white trunks, red stripe. And now you see that tongue lashing affecting Mike Picciotti as he comes barreling in. That is what he has to do.
And it won't be easy. He'll have to take a few for the privilege of throwing the punches he wants.
Well, the Long Island Marathon was run a few weeks ago. The New York City Marathon to be run in October. And tonight it's the Kirkland Lange Marathon. Around and around he goes.
But after the second round, when he was warned by Paul Venti, Lange has been fairly effective with that style, too. He hasn't really been running for running's sake.
Very frustrating fight for Mike Picciotti. I think he'd rather have Juan Alonso Villa back pounding on him, because at least he'll be there in front of him to hit.
At least he could trade punches then.
Kirkland Lange, that time ate a jab. Not much on that right hand. It's a slapping right hand that Kirkland Lange owns. Throws Mike Picciotti to the canvas. Lost his balance. Then he wipes the gloves. And that time, Kirkland Lange got hit with a hard right hand and hurt, trying to stay close, holding on with that left hand.
Picciotti's best punch of the fight. Loaded right hand. I'm surprised he got that in with all the time Lange had to see it coming.
Well, as we know so much, once in a while you're going to get tagged. Marty the Wolfman Feldman just going nuts in the corner. I can't really tell what Picciotti's saying, but he'd be better off sticking out that jab more than he's sticking out his tongue.
He's beckoning Lange to fight up close. What he's trying to do is bring out the macho qualities in Lange so that Lange will stay close to him. And Lange has somewhat obliged in this round.
This is where Picciotti should be moving his hands, Dave.
He's got the style and the distance he wants now, and he's not taking advantage.
There he goes again. Talking, hanging his chin out, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to try to draw him in as he did against Juan Alonso Villa, but he's not moving the hand. And he just blew some points by doing that.
And he takes a big right hand, too.
Disgusted. Mike Picciotti returns to his corner. Doesn't even return to his corner. Just walks around. He is upset with himself. And look what he's doing, Dave. He's giving away 20 seconds or so before he even hits the stool.
You're talking about a frustrated fighter.
Why is he frustrated?
How can you come up against this style? Lange is tying him up, and he throws him down. Right after this was Picciotti's best moment of the fight. Comes up. Okay, now I'm ready. Cups in. Bang!
Nice right hand.
All the time, Lange had to see that coming. However, Picciotti was unable to follow up.
Once in a while, the boxer will get nailed, and that was the one time. It might be the only time tonight Picciotti catches up with him. If he wants to win this fight, I think he's got to step on the gas pedal. Round number 9. If you're scoring this one at home, who do you like? The boxer, runner, Kirkland Lange, or the slugger, the man who's trying? We're from the Sands Hotel Casino and Country Club in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm Randy Gordon along with Dave Von Tempo. And tonight, we're taking a look at Kirkland Lange in the red, white, and blue trunks doing his impersonation of Harry Houdini, the escape artist. You get me in a trap and I'll get out of it. Tie me up, I'll get out of it. Mike Picciotti has to be thinking to himself now, oh, where's the phone booth?
He would love this fight to be constructed in a phone booth. Or he would like to translate himself into Superman.
There's just too much real estate in there, Dave. And Kirkland Lange has invested in all of it.
And he owns the whole block.
Well, that time we picked up what Mike Picciotti said. And I don't know why he's talking about Kirkland Lange's mother in this fight. He should be thinking about his own jab.
Well, he is clearly annoyed by the quickness that Lange has displayed.
Little pick. Come on, Daddy. Tears rolling down his face. Tough for the kid to sit there and watch his father. Redness around both eyes. Frustrated by the man from England, the one-time contender who owns a victory over the great Roberto Duran, being frustrated tonight. Although the picture Dave Von Tempo and I are painting tonight might be a different one that's being looked at by Lynn Carter, Ron Burns, and Frank Burnett. Picciotti again backing up, obviously trying to draw and lying onto the end of the shot, but Dave, he's not moving the hands.
He had one opportunity, landed 4 good punches in a row, started to come on, and then was too stationary.
I know this, if I had a welterweight fighter, I would not put him in the ring with Kirkland Lange. Just too frustrating. He can only make you look bad.
And he might beat you.
Never have we seen him like this before. Normally, he doesn't do so much grunt. He is in and out tonight.
Well, Picciotti has allowed him to take vacations at certain points of the fight.
He has played a game with that man's mind, and the man has been affected by it. It's as if he says to himself, I came to fight. He didn't, so I'm going to get a loss on this one.
Just keep in mind,
Picciotti's heart, I don't think, is any longer in this fight, Dave.
I think his discipline may not be. His heart probably is, to the standpoint that he wants a knockout. And I think he'll sense that he has to go for it. But as far as the discipline to stay there and create the right opportunity, Picciotti's discipline has not been there. That's because he's been frustrated.
Absolutely. This has been a very fast-paced fight. Hard to believe it's already the 10th round, as everybody's concentration has been on the action in the ring and whether the man on the right, Mike Picciotti, could keep up with Harry Houdini. Round number 10, Paul Benny comes out, has him touch gloves, and then a wild swing and a miss by Picciotti. He doesn't look like he cares where he hits Lange at this point. Lange knows it and gives him a little smile. Dave, Lange is not a big puncher. His record speaks to that. He's a boxer.
Only 11 knockouts in 33 fights for Lange.
And when you're a boxer without the big punch, we've seen that he has no real right hand. You don't want to get involved in a brawl. I believe he's done everything he's had to do tonight to try to win. Whether he will win is another story.
He's been on the outside. He's boxed effectively there.
How does the Dr. Dave Von Temple scorecard have it?
Well, this doctor says that Picciotti needs a knockout for proper surgery.
Well, it was Kirkland Lange there who landed a stiff right hand. Comes back with a left hook. Picciotti singular shots. So frustrated. Heart apparently out of this fight. It is just no fun to dance with the opponent who doesn't want to dance. Picciotti comes in swinging, throwing.
And yet, this is his most forward motion of the fight. Just before Lange turned it around.
Comes jumping in, but Lange pulls back. I don't think there's going to be very kind words Picciotti will have for Lange after the fight. Lange just stands on the outside using that hand speed. And Picciotti looks over to the Wolfman Feldman, who all he can tell is put the pressure on, but Picciotti is not doing it.
It's not like Lange has stayed on the outside and made it impossible for Picciotti to come forward. The opportunities have been there for Picciotti. It just seems like he hasn't taken advantage of them as he could.
Kirkland Lange said, the only thing I'm worried about tonight is not Mike Picciotti, but if I win this fight, will they give Picciotti, the hometown kid, the win? Well, it looks like this one will go the distance. There's about 30 seconds remaining in the final round, and we'll find out how the judges see it. Lynn Carter, Ron Burns, Frank Burnett, as it's another good round for Kirkland Lange. Kirkland Lange has not made any fans here tonight, but he has shown people what boxing's all about. Hit and not be hit. And Mike Picciotti has not been able to stay with it. Final bell. So, the judges lower their heads, mark their scorecards. On my scorecard, I gave the first 2 rounds of the bout to Mike Picciotti. Third round I gave to Kirkland Lange. Then the 4th and 5th I gave to Pick. That was it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 I gave to Kirkland Lange. Dave?
That's enough for him to steal it on your card, and he won it on my card too. However, the ones that really matter are being collected and compiled right now.
Well, Pick just glanced down at yours truly and shook his head in disgust. And some action from that final round. You see Mike Picciotti backing up, and as he backed up with his hands down at his side, Kirkland Lange with the fast hands catches him with a wide left hook. And so, again, Mike Picciotti glances down, shakes his head, throws his hands up in the air, as if to say, what in the world was I to do? The ring was too big tonight. Kirkland Lange was too fast. So let's not be so quick in giving the decision to Kirkland Lange. I mean, I think he won. Dave Bontempo thinks he won. And now Ed Darian is ready with the decision. Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the famous Copa Room of the sensational Sands Hotel and Casino here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, we have a unanimous decision. And the scoring by rounds as follows. Judge Frank Brunette observed the fight at 5-4 with 1 round even. Judge Lynn Carter scored it 7-3. And Judge Ron Burns had it 8-1 with 1 round even. For the winner, Kirkland Lange.
Well, Kirkland Lange was worried about getting robbed in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He did not get robbed here tonight. There are some boos that go up from the crowd, but that was because of his fighting style tonight. The Carl Lewis imitation he did tonight. And we've got Dave Bontempo in the ring with a very happy winner.
One more bout.
Okay, Kirkland Lange, a fine fight. What do you think the difference was?
I'm a bit rusty. That was my first fight for 12 months.
Where do you think you won the fight?
I think I won it clean of boxing.
First couple of rounds, you were on the bicycle a little bit. The fans weren't happy. You got warned by referee Paul Venny. What went through your mind then?
That's the usual style. Just the style come out, touch them out. That's the movement, how fast they are, you know. Just be a brilliant athlete to do that.
Going over to the corner, Mike Hall, how do you think he performed tonight?
Very well. Superb.
Exactly according to plan?
Lesson. And that's what his plan was from the beginning, was to outbox him. He knew that Picciotti was strong, but he was going to just outbox him, and that's what he did. He was a master boxer. Matador versus the Bull.
Did you think entering the final round that you had a big lead?